So if you see the question, they have not given you any of the incomes. So other income, even though if they don't give or if they give, you have to write in the format. Note number 1, employee benefit expenses. So I'll take those two. Salary to employees 40,000, leave encashment 10,000. So overall it is 50,000. How do you get profit after tax or profit for the year? Profit before tax minus tax expenses. So here it is 60,000 minus 18,000, 42,000 will be the answer. That is profit for the year. Hello everyone, I am Harshita, lecturer, Department of Commerce, Vidhyaashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. My dear students, today we are in the session 2 of your chapter Financial Statement of a Company, and this is from part B of your accountancy syllabus. So already we have discussed this chapter under session 1. So let us quickly recall what we have discussed in a previous session. So in a previous session, I have discussed about introduction and meaning of financial statements. So once again to recall, what do you mean by financial statement? So these are the accounting reports which is being prepared by a company at the end of the financial year. So why it is prepared? In order to communicate to the users. Okay, so what are the financial statements to be prepared? So mainly they are going to prepare statement of profit and loss and balance sheet of the company. And then next we have learned about financial year. So what do you mean by financial year? So normally as per Companies Act 2013, so they have to follow the financial year which starts from 1st April to 31st March. So financial year means the duration in which we are going to take out the transaction and prepare the financial statement. So that duration of 1 year is called as what? Financial year. Next, we have learned about objectives of preparing financial statement. So, what would be the main objectives of preparing financial statement? To know the financial position as well as profit or loss of the business. Next is characteristics of financial statement. So, that also we have discussed in a previous session. Nature of financial statement, format of balance sheet and format of statement of profit and loss. So, in today's session, we shall directly solve the problem. So, in a previous session, we have just learned the format. Hope you are clear with the format. Today, we shall solve the problems. So, these are the 6 marks problem. So, I have told you from this chapter, you might expect 1 mark, 2 mark as well as 6 marks questions. Okay, so your 6 marks questions will be like this, and this is a question paper problem which is asked in the year 2019. Okay, so this is a 6 marks problem on preparation of statement of profit or loss. Hope you remember what is the format of profit or loss. First, Roman number 1, revenue from operation. 2, other income. 3, total income or total revenue. 4, expenses. 5, profit before tax. 6, tax. And 7 is profit after tax. Okay, so if you know that format properly, you can easily solve the problem. Now go through the problem here. From the following information, prepare statement of profit and loss for the year ending 31st/3/2013 as per Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013. Okay, so go through your particulars here. Revenue from operations 5 lakh. Purchase of goods, that is purchase of stock in trade. So we can call that purchase of stock in trade also, rupees 3 lakh. Salary to employees 40,000, leave encashment 10,000, rent and taxes 30,000, repairs to machinery 20,000, and they have given tax 30%. Now, as per the format, we know our format starts from revenue from operations. So, directly we shall go through the solution and let us see in between. So, certain expenses are not included in your format or not there in the format. For which what we have to do? We have to prepare a notes to accounts. Okay, so let us see how we have to solve. So, you will write the heading. So, this will be the solution. Statement of profit and loss for the year ending 31st/3/2018. And the format is particulars, note number, amount. So, this will be the format. Okay, so these are the columns required. Now, coming to the first one, revenue from operations. It should be in the same format what I have told you. It should be in the same format. So, the first is revenue from operations. So, whether they have given revenue from operations? Yes, they have directly given. So, no need to prepare the note. So, revenue from operation is 5 lakh. Other income. So, if you see the question, they have not given you any of the incomes. So, other income, even though if they don't give or if they give, you have to write in the format. So, second is other income, where I will put dash here. Now, third is total income. How do you get total income? 1 plus 2, that is 5 lakh minus 0 here. That is 5 lakh only. Other income 5 lakh. Next, fourth is expenses. Now let us see how we have to write the expenses. So purchase of goods or purchase of goods is also called as purchase of stock in trade. So we'll write directly 3 lakh. Purchase of stock in trade 3 lakh. Next is we have salaries to employees and leave encashment. So these two can be written under the heading employee benefit expenses, for which you have to prepare a note because your note also carries marks. You can't directly write it separately. You have to prepare a note and you have to write. So let us see how we have to prepare a note. So hope you are clear. Salary to employees and leave encashment comes under employee benefit expenses. So let us see. So I have written employee benefit expenses, for which we have to prepare a note. So you will write the heading under working note. You will write notes to accounts. Under that, note number 1, employee benefit expenses. So I will take those two. Salary to employees 40,000, leave encashment 10,000. So overall it is 50,000. Okay, so instead of showing it separately, I have to show in the heading employee benefit expenses. And easy to identify also, anything related to employees. So this comes under employee benefit expenses. Now this is note number 1. How do I show in my format? Employee benefit expenses. I have to write note number 1. Directly write the total amount. So total amount was 50,000. So you will write that amount. Next, coming to your question, rent and taxes and repairs to machinery. So you can't show it separately because it is not there in the format. So for this you can write or give the heading, or these two comes under other expenses, for which you have to prepare a note. So rent and taxes 30,000 and 20,000. So this 50,000 has to be shown as other expenses. Now see here, note 2. Other expenses, so we'll write rent and taxes 30,000, repairs to machinery 20,000, overall it is 50,000. So how do you show in your format? Other expenses, note number 2, 50,000. So hope you are clear with this. For your note also it carries marks, children. So don't write directly because it is not a part of the format. It comes under few headings. So for that heading you have to write a note. Okay. So you are done with this. So we were done till total income or total revenue, then we have recorded all the expenses. So when you add only the expenses, so you will get total expenses 3 lakh plus 50,000 plus 50,000 4 lakh. So you have to show that total expenses 4 lakh. Then your fifth one is profit before tax. So how do you get profit before tax? Your 3 minus 4, total income minus total expenses. So I have written in the bracket 3 minus 4, that is 5 lakh minus 4 lakh. 5 lakh minus 4 lakh, you will get 1 lakh. That is profit before tax. Next, 6 is tax expenses. So they have given, if you see the problem, they have given tax rate at 30%. So how do you calculate tax rate on profit before tax? So how much was profit before tax? That is 1 lakh into, so this should be 1 lakh into 30%, 30 divided by 100. So that is 30,000. Okay, so you are going to calculate tax on profit before tax, 1 lakh into 30%, you will get 30,000. Now, the last one is profit after tax. How do you get profit after tax? 5 minus 6. Profit before tax minus tax, you will get profit after tax, that is 1 lakh minus 30,000, 70,000. The problem is too simple for 6 marks. Wherever necessary, you have to prepare the notes and you have to write in the format. Hope you are clear about this question. Similar question, we shall solve the next one. Yes, second question. From the following details, you are required to prepare a statement of profit and loss for the year ending 31st/2013 as per Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013. Now, they have given you certain particulars as well as amount like plant and machinery 40,000, furniture 20,000, share capital 4 lakh, sales 3 lakh, purchases 1,80,000, trade payables 30,000, depreciation on plant and machinery, amortization of goodwill, interest on debentures, interest on borrowings, and they have given tax. Now, these are the particulars they have given. However, we have to write in the exact format which starts from revenue from operation. Now, we shall go through the solution. Statement of profit and loss for the year ending 31st/3/2018. Your format is particulars, note number and amount. Now we will start with Roman number 1, revenue from operations. Revenue from operation is nothing but your sales itself is considered as what? Revenue from operation. So they have given us directly 3 lakh. Next, if you see the question, there is no other income. So if there was other income, they would have directly given other income. So here it is not there. So it is nil. So it is dash. Then you will get total income 3. So how do you get 3? 1 plus 2. Revenue from operation plus total other income, you will get total income, that is 3 lakh. Hope you are clear till this. Next, 4th is expenses. Now let us see what are the expenses to be recorded here. Now go through the question. Purchases. Purchases is nothing but purchase of stock in trade. You have to record 1,80,000. Now, you might be having a doubt. Where does this plant and machinery, furniture and share capital comes? These 3 doesn't comes under P&L account, profit and loss account. It comes under balance sheet. Okay, so for which you have to write a note. Even though if they have given, it is not recorded in statement of profit and loss account, it is recorded in the balance sheet, for which you have to write a note. So we are done with sales. Now purchase. Purchase can be written it as purchase of stock in trade, that is 1,80,000. So purchase of stock in trade 1,80,000. Next we have trade payables. This also doesn't come under statement of profit and loss account, it comes under balance sheet. We have to write a note for it. Next, depreciation of plant and machinery and amortization of goodwill. These 2 can be combined and prepared a note under this depreciation and amortization expenses. So, depreciation on plant and machinery and amortization of goodwill can be written under the note depreciation and amortization expenses. And interest on debentures and interest on borrowings can be written under the note, that is finance cost. Okay, so these 2 can be written under finance cost. So that is how we have to prepare the note. Now come to this finance cost. I have written here, that is note number 1. Let us see the note now. So note number 1, finance cost, I have told you interest on debentures and interest on borrowings. That is 30,000 and 20,000. 50,000 comes under finance cost. So, we have to show note number 1, 50,000. Next, depreciation and amortization of goodwill. We can write under the heading depreciation and amortization expenses, under which you can write depreciation on plant and machinery 4,000, amortization of goodwill 6,000, total it is 10,000. So, this has to be shown as note number 2. Okay. So, let us go back here. Depreciation and amortization expenses, note number 2, directly write the amount 10,000. So, we are done with this. Next, we will get what? Total expenses. So, how to get total expenses? Add only the expenses. So, we will get total expenses. 1,80,000 plus 50,000 plus 10,000, it is 2,40,000. We got total expenses. And the next, 5th one is what? Profit before tax. How do you get profit before tax? 3 minus 4. That is total income minus total expenses. So, total income is 3 lakh minus total expenses 2,40,000. Profit before tax is 60,000. Next, 6th is tax expenses. So, they have clearly given tax is 30%. 30% is calculated on what? That is on profit before tax. Okay, so profit before tax is 60,000. 60,000 into 30%. 30 divided by 100. So, we will get 18,000, that is tax. Next, how do you get profit after tax or profit for the year? Profit before tax minus tax expenses. So, here it is 60,000 minus 18,000, 42,000 will be the answer. That is profit for the year. Hope you are clear. The problem is too simple, children. Just know the format. Okay. So, we are done with the note. So, I have told you those expenses or those items which we have not recorded in the statement of profit and loss, we have to prepare a note. Plant and machinery, furniture, share capital and trade payables are balance sheet items. It comes under balance sheet because we can't show under statement of profit or loss. Under statement of profit or loss, we will show only the expenses and incomes. Okay. So, hope you are clear with this. Now, moving on to the third problem. So, similar type of problem. So, you will find it easy. Okay, so from the following balances, prepare statement of profit and loss for the year ending 31st-3-2018 as per Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013. So, they have given cash sales, credit sales, sales returns. So for these three we have to prepare a note, because total sales we will record under statement of profit and loss, but they have given us separately cash sales, credit sales and sales return. Next, cost of material consumed we can write directly. Building machinery. So whether these two items comes? No, it comes under balance sheet. Now why they have given, I'll tell you why these two items have given. Bad debts. Bad debts comes under other expenses. Tax they have given 30%. Now why these two items are given? See here, note. Charge depreciation on building and machinery at 10% each. So in order to calculate this, they have given the value of building and machinery. So where do we record depreciation? Under the note, depreciation and amortization expenses. So that we have to prepare how many notes? That is for this one and other expenses 1 and depreciation and amortization. So totally 3 notes has to be prepared. Now we shall directly go through the solution. So solution is statement of profit and loss for the year ending 31st/3/2018. Now this I have told you for these 3 I have to prepare a note. So revenue from operation is nothing but your sales. Okay, but they have given us separately. So let us see how we have to prepare a note for it. Okay, so note number 1, revenue from operations. So you will take sales. Okay, so this is sales actually. So we have cash sales, credit sales and sales return they have given. So how do you take cash sales? Cash sales 2 lakh plus credit sales 3 lakh. So then you will get total sales minus sales return 20,000. So your total revenue from operations or net sales will be 4,80,000. Hope you are clear with this. So how do you take? So cash sales plus credit sales minus sales return, then you will get net revenue from operations or net sales. So that will show under here. Note number 1, 4,80,000. So whatever the answer you got under note number 1, 4,80,000, you have to show here. Okay. Next, other income they have not given, so it is dash. Then you will get total income, that is 1 plus 2. That is revenue from operations plus other income, 4,80,000. Fourth is expenses. Now let us see the problem. Cost of material consumed, 3 lakh they have directly given, so no need to prepare the note. So we'll write directly 3 lakh. Next is we have depreciation, correct? So depreciation, charge depreciation on building and furniture at 10% each. Under which note we have to prepare? Depreciation and amortization expenses, for which we shall prepare. Why this bad debts is not taken here? Because under the format your other expenses comes later on after depreciation and amortization. So write first depreciation and amortization expenses, then you will calculate then you will record the other expenses. Okay, so let us see the note. Note number 2, depreciation and amortization expenses. So depreciation on building, value of building was 2 lakh into 10% 20,000. Depreciation on machinery 1,50,000 into 10% 15,000. So total depreciation will be 35,000, which has to be written under the note number 2, depreciation and amortization expenses. So let us see here. Depreciation and amortization expenses, note 2, directly 35,000. Now under other expenses, so there is nothing is written as bad debts in your format. So it has to come under other expenses, for which you have to write a note. So note number 3, that is other expenses, where you have only one item, bad debts. Still, even though it is only one item, you have to show in the form of note, because there is nothing called bad debts in your format. So it comes under other expenses. So bad debts 5,000, total it is 5,000. So how do you show here? Other expenses, note number 3, 5,000. Then what you will get? Total expenses. Add all the expenses, 3 lakh plus 35,000 plus 5,000, it is 3,40,000. Next, fifth is what? Profit before tax. How do you get profit before tax? Total income. Total income is 4,80,000 minus total expenses, that is 3,40,000. So profit before tax is 1,40,000. On this 1,40,000, you have to calculate the tax. So what was the tax rate? 30% tax. So 1,40,000 into 30%. You have to calculate here. That is 1,40,000 into 30%. 30% tax. So you'll get 42,000 Then how do we get profit after tax or profit for the year? 5 minus 6. Profit before tax is 1,40,000 minus 42,000, you'll get 98,000. That will be the profit for the year or profit after tax. So till now we have solved 3 problems. Hope you are clear with us. Now we shall solve the last problem on statement of profit and loss. Okay, so 4th problem, from the following balances, prepare statement of profit and loss for the year ending 31st-3-2018 as per Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013. Now see here, sales they have given directly, which means revenue from operations. Other income we don't have. Then you will get total income. Next, 4th is expenses. So here they have given cash purchase, credit purchase and purchase return. So this can be written under purchase of stock in trade, which comes under expenses. Okay, so for which you have to prepare note here, note number 1. Next, power and fuel consumption of stores. Okay, so they have given and even interest on bank loan. Let us see how we have to show in the format, and they have given the tax rate also 30%. Okay, so we shall directly go through the solution. Statement of profit and loss for the year ending 31st-12-2018. And the first one is revenue from operation. Directly they have given 10 lakh. You will take that one. Other income they have not given, so it is dash. Total income 1 plus 2. 10 lakh plus 0. So, we will get 10 lakh. Now, coming to the expenses. Expenses, first one is purchase of stock in trade. But they have given us separately cash purchase, credit purchase and purchase return. So, for which you have to prepare note number 1. Let us see. Purchase of stock in trade, you will take cash purchase, add credit purchase 4 lakh. So, you will get 6 lakh minus purchase return 20,000. So, how much it is? 5,80,000. So, this can be shown directly in your format. So, how to show? Purchase of stock in trade 5,80,000. Next, coming to the next one, we have interest on bank loan. Where do you show? It should be shown under finance cost. Okay. So, you have to prepare a note. Finance cost. We have, even though we have only one, but we can't show it directly in the statement of profit and loss because interest on bank loan comes under finance cost. Okay. So, interest on bank loan 30,000. So, the total will be 30,000. So, this is note number 2. Okay. So, note number 2, finance cost 30,000. So, other expenses will be at the end. So, other expenses is power and fuel, consumption of stores. Okay. So, note number 3, other expenses, power and fuel 30,000, consumption of stores 50,000 and the total is 80,000. So, this is note number 3. Okay. So, you have to show note number 3, 80,000. After that, as usual, you will add all the expenses, you will get total expenses, that is 5,80,000 plus 30 plus 80,000, 6,90,000. Then profit before tax. So, total income minus total expenses. Income is 10 lakh minus 6,90,000, it is 3,10,000. Then minus tax expenses. Tax expenses will be calculated on profit before tax. Profit before tax is how much? That is 3,10,000. 3,10,000 into 30%. 3,10,000 into 30 divided by 100, 30%. So, you will get 93,000 as tax expenses. Then you will get profit after tax or profit for the year, that is 5 minus 6. Profit before tax is 3,10,000 minus tax 93,000, that is 2,17,000. So, hope you are clear with this. So, this is a easy 6 marks problem. Normally, when you have to prepare a note, so you will have a note on depreciation and amortization expenses, finance cost and other expenses. Normally, you have on these only, and even for purchase of stock in trade, where they will give you cash purchase, credit purchase and purchase return, or sales, for sales also, revenue from operation, where they will give you sales, under that cash sales, credit sales minus sales return. So, only this much children for 6 marks, very easy to score. Just you have to write a note and show it in the exact format, and this should be in the exact order. So, if you learn this order here, it will be easy for you to prepare analysis of financial statement, or your next chapter will become easy if you know the format, because under next chapter also you are going to continue this same format. Okay, so learn this format properly. So what is the format of statement of profit and loss? Roman number 1, revenue from operations. 2, other income. 3, total income. 4, expenses. 5, profit before tax. 6, tax, and the 7th one is profit after tax. So hope you are clear with this, but you have to be careful under what headings or under which note we have to prepare certain items, or under which note certain items has to be included. So hope you are clear with this. We have solved 4 problems on statement of profit and loss. So in my next session, we are going to discuss about problems on balance sheet. So it is also a 6 marks problem. So 6 marks problem, I have told you this chapter is only having 1 mark, 2 mark as well as 6 marks questions. So normally your 1 mark and 2 mark will be easy actually. So in our last session, I have told you what are the questions or what are the expected questions for 2 marks as well as 1 marks. Okay. So this is a very important question for 6 marks, as well as a problem will be asked on balance sheet. So either it will be statement of profit or loss, or on balance sheet they will ask you the question. Normally, most of the time they have asked question on statement of profit or loss for 6 marks. Go to that properly. And in my next session, we shall solve problem on balance sheet. So my dear students, hope you have understood today's session. See you all in my next session with a new concept. Till then, take care. Thank you.